changing the way life is understood and perceived is how life is changed. What's up, everybody? This is another episode of Urban Sage. My name's Elliot. I'm coming to you live from my apartment in Los Angeles, California. I got a speech tomorrow at 9 in the morning, so I figured I'd make this episode about what I'm going to talk about. Changing the way life is understood and perceived is how you can change your life. You know, I did a lot of neurolinguistic programming and timeline therapy and all this unconscious mind analysis. And I was taught that the way that an event affects you only affects you the way that it does because of the way that you understand it. Which is a very interesting concept. That means that I can change my life as soon as I can understand it differently. As soon as I decide to view my life differently, in that moment, my life becomes different. Very very abstract, obscure, bizarre way to think. Because then what that means is that you're trying to tell me that I've caused my life to be the way that it's been this whole time. I'm not a victim. I'm not the one that just has been subjected to the way that things are just because I've been interacting with them. Are you trying to tell me that I've been causing all of these things in my life to happen based on the way that I think about them, based on the way that I understand them? Is this... If someone was to tell me this, I would... When someone did tell me this, I was like, no. But for some reason, I was like, okay, no, I'll have you. Please, tell me, right? And they started to explain that two people can have the same experience and have a different result. Two people see the same car accident, they describe it differently. Two people are raised in the same household. They have a different life path. Two people go out with the same person, they have a different experience. Two people have the same job, they make a different amount of money. It is not what happens to you, but the way that you understand it. That's how you're affected by it. It is not what happens. It is how you understand it that creates the effect that it has on you. So then what do you do? What do you do to change? What do you do? How do you say, I'm tired of my life right now? How is change possible? So if you're hurting right now, if your life is not like the pristine, ideal life that you envisioned maybe a year ago, 5 years ago, when you first started thinking about the way that you want to develop your life, and maybe it's not in line with what you envisioned. How do you change? How do you change your life? That's it's either how do I change my life or how do I maintain my life? Because either you have exactly what you want or you don't and you want it. How to keep what you have is for another day. How to keep what you have is for another day. But how to get what you want, how to get something different. So I'm going to talk about 3 things. Many of you probably heard this before, but it's the truth. I'm going to talk about 3 things. It's honesty, willingness, and open-mindedness are 3, perhaps the 3 vital, most essential components to create change in your life. If you're not honest with yourself, you're not going to see that the way that you are affecting and interpreting and understanding your life is the reason why that it is. And I'm not to say that somebody didn't hurt you and you can't be affected. I'm not to say that you're not allowed to have obstacles and situations get in the way of you achieving your path. But if you're still holding on to it, if you're still being stepped on by what happened to you X amount of time ago. You got to look at yourself and think about, is it what happened to me, or is it what I understand of it that's affecting me? And no, I work with a lot of people, and people don't want to get honest. That's the last thing people want to do. The last thing someone wants to do is get honest with themselves and say, you know what, you're right, I'm wrong, and I'm in fear, I'm scared, I don't think that I can. Nobody wants to say that. Nobody wants to say, you know what, I'm not doing the best that I can. Maybe I could be doing more. Maybe I'm selling myself short. Nobody wants to say those things, but that is the first step. Because if being able to see that isn't something that you do, change doesn't become possible until you realize that something needs to be changed. And yeah, like it makes you humble. It makes you say, you know what? It smashes your ego. It says, you know what? Maybe you're right. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have been going down the wrong path. Maybe I should have made different choices with my life. You know? Maybe I need to change directions. I need to change my focus. I need to care about a couple of different things. But until you get honest with where you're at and say, this is not working for me. This is not what I wanted my life to be. This is not how I thought it was going to be. And say that and not blame anybody. You cannot blame anybody and say, because they did this, I'm the way that I am. You can't say that anymore when you're honest. When you're honest, you say, this happened, but you know what? This was my part. You know, and for me, like I was getting high. I was not living a virtuous life. I was not really focused on being a part of anything that I really should have been. And until I said, man, I'm messing up right now. I'm causing this. I'm the one that has really been afflicting all this pain on my life. You know, when someone told me you are the cause of all the problems in your life, I wanted to argue that. But then I started thinking, and I was like, wow, no, you're absolutely right. But the amazing thing that when you say, I have caused everything that happened in my life, that means that you can cause anything to happen in your life, right? And so there's 2 more steps to make that happen, right? You got to be honest with where you're at. But the second step, the second key, vital step to make your life the way that you want it to be is you got to be willing. You got to be so willing. Because here's the thing, like when you're pushing forward, when you're trying to salvage your life, it's way more comfortable to rest in the wreckage than try to salvage your present. And there's going to be times when you're going to say, nah, it wasn't that bad. Times are going to come when you say, you know what, I don't even really know why I stopped doing that. You're going to, like, I think, you know, like drinking, using, getting high, like making all these poor decisions, it wasn't that bad. In that moment, I stopped being willing. In that moment, I stopped being on the path no matter what. No matter what. You know, the word decision comes from the Latin word desire, which means to cut off. So when you make the firm decision to cut off all other options from what you are working to accomplish, and when you are willing to attack those head on, vigilantly and with complete dedication, and say, you know what, I don't care what's happening, I'm gonna keep going. I am so tired of where I was at. I can't live another day like that. And you say, no matter what, I'm willing to do whatever it takes. You're gonna get there. You will get to where you're going if you remain willing. But then the question is, well, where am I trying to go, right? I know where I don't want to be, and I know what it takes to get to wherever it is that I want to go. But where is that, right? And that brings me to the third. The third vital aspect of change is you got to be open-minded. You know, and that, like, honesty and willingness, they rest on open-mindedness. They are supported by open-mindedness. Because if you're not open-minded enough to embrace a new possibility, you're not going to want to be honest. You're not going to want to be willing. So you have to say, oh, you know what? I'm not there right now. It is not my life right now, but I can see myself there. I believe that no matter what, I can get to this point in my life that I see right now in my mind, because I'm tired of being stuck in the same spot. I'm tired of taking orders. I'm tired of not being my own boss. I'm tired of being in a poor relationship. I'm tired of never getting what I want. I'm tired of it. But that isn't enough. Being tired isn't enough. You have to really wholeheartedly believe that it is possible for you. You have to say, you know what? It's not my life, but I see my life being that. I believe. And that belief comes from being open-minded enough to see you in any possibility, in any possible circumstance that you could possibly imagine. If you put the work in, to be whatever it is that you want to be, you're gonna become that. You will be that, right? Honesty, willingness, and open-mindedness are the essentials. They are the vital, crucial aspects of changing your life. Changing the way life is understood and perceived is how life is changed. Change the way you understand and perceive your life. Become honest with where you're at. Say, you know what? I'm going to do whatever it takes to get where I'm going. And know where you're going. Say, that's where I'm going to be. That's where I belong. That's where that's where I was meant to be. Because you can do anything. You can really do anything if you change your perception and understanding of the way things are. That's a wrap. That's a wrap. As long as you maintain a few simple principles: honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. You can accomplish anything. Man, my life was not this today. My life was not living in Los Angeles, speaking on my podcast for my company in my apartment that I pay for. This was not my life. This was not my life, and every day I'm grateful for it. And I can see, I can see without a doubt. I got honest with myself. I said, this isn't where I'm supposed to be. And I got willing, and I said, you know what? I don't care how much pain I'm going to go through. I don't care. I will not stop. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to make it happen. And through envisioning with the crystal clear focus, seeing what I'm going to be a part of, having that open mind, it is the through line that keeps me willing, what keeps me honest. Man, I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful. Y'all are amazing for listening to me. I really appreciate it. I really do. Please like and share. Please drop a comment. Please let other people know about this video. Because just like you may want some change in your life, other people may want some change too. So please, give them the keys to the kingdom. Give them the 3 keys to the kingdom. Right? Thank you guys so much. Thank you so much. My name's Elliot. This has been another episode of Urban Sage. I got a lot of good content coming up for you guys. I'm really excited to talk about. Please stay tuned. I got a lot of visions. I'm starting a website. I got a lot of stuff going on. So please stay tuned. I want to keep you guys in the loop. Like, I am not an urban sage, but when you use your gifts to help someone else understand who they are, and so they can use their gifts, we become an urban sage. So, Thank you guys for being at Urban Sage with me. Until next time, peace.